Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many new elements in this film by writer and director JJ Abrams and Chris Terrio that will change our entire view of both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about this film that we do know is that JJ Abrams will be expanding the lineage of course, Rey's story, who she really is, and of course, everything that has to do with her past and her parents. And that's exactly what JJ Abrams had to confirm over at Star Wars Celebration, is that there is a whole lot more to tell in the story of Reys Parents, and exactly how it's going to be used in The Rise of Skywalker is going to be somewhat unexpected. However, what's really intriguing is that these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very intriguing. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the scenes that were shot during the month of October 2018 included a sequence with a young actress portraying a young Rey around the age of 11, with an older man in a black-brown cloak, with long hair and a ponytail, that is said to be an unnamed actor that portrayed Reys' father. It's described that the sequence involved the interior of a large hut of some kind, where the costume design used for Reys' father was dubbed as the Jedi Collector. It said that this costume design is described to be a cloak that once belonged to a Jedi who died during Order 66 that was stolen from Reys' father during his time in the Jakku Observatory, which belonged to Emperor Palpatine. It said the reason Reys' father is called the Jedi Collector is that he is a protector of Jedi lore and stored an important Jedi history inside of his home. Another sequence that was shot included the Jedi Collector handing Rey a staff that is described to be the same one she uses in all three movies. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why one particular piece about this really changes my view on, of course, episodes 7, 8, and 9. Now, the reason as to why I bring this up is the staff, of course, without a doubt the staff. Now, Reys' father is being dubbed as, at least in this particular sequence with the costume design that was used, which is described to be a black and brown cloak that once belonged to a Jedi during Order 66 when he fell, that was collected by, of course, the Empire and stored away within the Jakku Observatory eventually by Emperor Palpatine. Now, Reys' father, what's really intriguing to me about all of this is that how he's being described as the Jedi Collector is because he's the protector of Jedi lore and stored a lot of Jedi information, lore, artifacts, relics, whatever have you, inside of his home. Now, it leads me to believe, obviously, that this staff that once belonged to Rey was a very valuable object to Reys' father. In case you guys did not know, we went over this a couple of weeks ago, that there was a connection with, of course, Luke Skywalker and Rey's staff, that it was handed down by Luke Skywalker to the Church of the Force, that eventually landed into the hands of Reys' father, where he eventually hands it down to Rey, in case you guys did not know. So, one of the big interesting elements about all of this is how they're really kind of bringing in little Easter eggs here to Order 66. You know, as you all know, Order 66, we had a lot of Jedi that were killed by, the clone troopers and all those different, things that we saw in Revenge of the Sith. And everything that actually happened from that point on forward pretty much seems very mysterious. And unless you're, reading a lot of the comics and the novels and the books out there, aside from that, anything on film, there's a big mystery behind, the events after Order 66. So that's exactly what JJ is trying to tap into here, is that one of the big artifacts that Reys' father actually owns is, of course, Rey's staff that he hands down to her as a child, where she grows up with that actual staff that we do get to see in the movies when she's an adult. So how he's using a cloak that once belonged to a Jedi during the times of, the peak of the Jedi Order before their fall, at the hands of Palpatine and everybody else, this really screams volumes to me that JJ is paying a lot of attention to the fact that he is very knowledgeable right now in prequel trilogy continuity, and of course original trilogy content as well, in order to truly fulfill the Skywalker saga. So what do I make about all of this? Now, we do know that Reys' father and mother are going to be explained in great detail in episode 9, JJ confirmed this, that there is more to tell about their story in The Rise of Skywalker, and that there is a lot more to be told about Rey's parentage. And that, to me, I think is great, because we do know that in The Last Jedi, a lot of fans wanted to know more. You know, the reason being is because, at the very least, right, at the very least, in the prequel trilogy, Anakin Skywalker had a mother who was quite prominent, you know, Shmi Skywalker. It was a very big piece of the Skywalker saga where, you know, Shmi Skywalker says there was no father. But at the very end of the day, some of the comics were trying to retcon that, of Emperor Palpatine being the father of Anakin, but I digress, that wasn't really made completely clear as of yet. As far as Reys Father goes, this seems to be a very mysterious character that's going to be taken in different paths in this movie by JJ. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.